Good evening, face to face show with welcomes all our viewers. Another Wednesday, 7 p.m., our 15th episode, and we are with a new guest, Mamta Dhingra from Mumbai. So, welcome Mamta here in this face to face show Mujit show, and I will formally introduce you, and then we will start our heart to heart chat.
Hi, Soumyajit. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
How is the weather there at Mumbai?
Oh, it's gone pretty hot for February.
Same here in Kolkata. So our conversation will make the whole ambience very sweet, and we will come over. So let me introduce formally Mamta Dhingra, and during the show I will call her Mamta. Uh, Mamta Dhingra, communications and PR advisor, a founder, lateral Shutra, a diverse experience and a keen eye to look for the big picture enables Mamta Dhingra to give a brand most prominent spot. With more than 15 years of experience in PR, marketing, and brand communications, our role has been instrumental in agencies and corporates like IPAN Hill, Noloton, Hong Kong Tourism Board, CRY, Star India Limited. She ventured as an independent consultant and served clients across industries. Her key areas of specialization being strategy, business acquisition, and client servicing. She also writes regularly on various aspects of marketing for many portals. And it's very short introduction because while we'll have our chat, more things will come out. But before I go to Mamta, let's see one audiovisual on Mamta. Hi Mamta. Hope these photographs remind you so many good memories.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Soumyajit, for a walk through the memory lane. It's been a very exciting and interesting journey I've covered.
Right. And obviously, I'll be having a very soft question as a first question. That is how you started your professional journey and how you became so passionate about this communication journey and profession.
So that's an interesting question, Soumyajit, in my case, especially because I'm certainly not here by design. It's kind of a default that happened to me. I perfectly believe in that Murphy's law that when something can go wrong, it surely will. So in my case, the journey began in the year 2001 on a one summer afternoon when I was sharing, a classroom lecture with my fellow friends. I was pursuing my post graduation in communication, not knowing where this path will lead me. And the professor on the dais, his first question to the class was that who all is interested in making a mark or making a profession in public relations? And to my, luck, I was the only one who did not raise my hand. And the entire class rose up their hand saying that they would like to dabble into PR or explore some part of PR. And I was the only one singled out and questioned that why not PR. And I had my list of, whole list of reasons why I never wanted to be in PR. And 17, 18 years hence, I'm here right in front of you.
So, unknowingly, I asked very interesting question, Mamta, and it reminded you that classroom moment about
Yes.
your professor. Let me ask you another question. I could have asked this question in the later part of our chat, but right now I'm asking because there are numerous academic institutions across our country, and everybody is claiming I am number one. And people, students, generation are going there according to their brand perception. And what is your message to these new generation students who aspire to become peer professional or corporate communication professional? What is your message to the young generation?
So, see, learning can happen from anywhere. I mean, especially in a digitally equipped world today, you can even learn sitting at home. People are adding so many new, uh, new skill sets to their academic track record, which they already hold. In addition to that, and they all are doing it from the comfort of their house. So, of course, big badge or big banner or launching pad does matter. But what really sees you through in the long run is your own commitment, your grit, your enthusiasm, your passion to make something out of your own life. So if you have, a chip on your shoulder, it will not last you. It may give you a good head start, but it is no assurance that it will see you through, through and through.
That's all from you, Mamta. And Mamta, I have gone through several lectures of you in the internet, and you often say we don't just want to be another participant, but a real conversation leader for our clients. And so there is power and purpose to what we do. Let's start with something from your mouth that why you say all these things, how it makes difference with others.
See, I think in today's world where there is an overload of information at just a click away, and sometimes even the information that you don't require, you are just bombarded with it day in and day out. So, for you to really create an impact is very useful and very important. Because if you have not created an impact with your message, with your communication, with your dialogue, or with your interaction and engagement with the audience, then all that is just nothing but a chatter and it's lost in translation. So, to my mind, for all our clients, for us as an agency, we would always want to stay more relevant with the times. We would always want to stay as someone who can lead by example. We would always want to stay consequential in nature rather than just chattering around and being yet another participant in the usual day-to-day conversations.
That's wonderful. And I find from a lot of questions I have put before you, and you are very quick in answering, very candid in your answer, and very short and crispy. And if we go around, in this way, our chat show may be finished within half an hour. So we need to prolong our conversation with more good stories, more memories. So, having said this thing, I request you to just elaborate. You have been telling chatter, and in today's world, digital chatter, everybody is involved in digital chatting. So, in days of today's digital chatting, what effort is taken by you to create relevant, meaningful, and impactful communication?
So see, in our last 4 years of journey as Lateral Sutra as a team, it's been innovation is not something that just happens. Innovation is very deliberate, and since we belong to the League of Communication Communicators, we want with every campaign, with every communication message that we undertake for our clients, it's very purposeful on our part to create something new, create something innovative, create something which is impactful for the audience, for the client. We have done many such campaigns for our clients, which if you look at it at the face of it, you would say that why is this client participating in this cause? So I would take it up with an example. So we had a co-working space client, and he wanted to create some interesting engagement with this prospective base of tenants. And since co-working is a space where a lot of collaborations happens, a lot of ideas spring forth, and a lot of interesting alignments that happen, because there are companies of across businesses and nature and sit under one roof. So we actually proposed the idea to the client to take up a conversation on art, and how art can be a very big influencer at work, dealing with people's mood swings, giving them a cohesive or a aesthetically encouraging or motivating environment. And believe you me, there's nothing that's been done in this space earlier, and this was taken up so well. We got so many an art gallery to come and partner with us. We got so many art appreciators who came forward, took up a panel discussion on art with us, and it went out fantastically well. So it's all about connecting the dots. I think just if you know that what is that your consumer at the end of the day will resonate with, if you give that sort of a leap into his interest, then surely miracles can happen, and you can make conversation from anywhere, and to that extent that they are very very impactful and thoughtful.
It's a clear
So
message. Yeah. Yes, please
yeah.
tell.
So likewise, we even done a campaign for a very they were a set of homepreneurs who had started a outfit from a retail store where they were promoting a lot of artists and young designers, and we never gave them any solution which was very mainstay or very linear, and that is also one of the reason why we have named ourselves Lateral Sutra, because we do not believe in storytelling in a very linear way. We like to look at a rather lateral approach of connecting the dots and bringing conversations or messages on board. And we actually held a lot of interesting bustling sessions where they were young and aspiring artists from the performing art field who came, and they did gigs at their show, and they did gigs around that market area, which brought that retail point in a limelight, and threw them on the spotlight, and all of a sudden they were buzzing with footfalls and consumers. So there are many such examples, if I reflect on, where we have not gone the linear way. It has always been a very deliberate innovative approach that we have taken to our work.
Right, right, right. So, can you just make our viewers aware how you make changes in the mindset of people, your clients? See, this change maker we use here not only for all the societal change, because your work in your communication professional work, while you deal with people, your clients, your students, your other stakeholders, you always try to do some changes in their mindset, their spectrum of works they are going to undertake. So, how do you plan, conceptualize, and make them understand that they should give very clear message? Uh, it's a very common term, CSR, that kind of thing, social message, how they communicate. Do you plan and tell them?
Yeah. So there are many things to mapping when we take on a campaign, and the idea is always solution driven and not problem driven. So while obviously we are presented with the issue at hand, that okay, that there is a retail store and there is not enough footfall. So how do we marry the two and create something which is more magical for the brand, or that there is a set of consumer that the brand would like to reach out to, but there is no direct connect as far as the brand proposition is concerned. So the whole process of mapping and the entire process of, I would say, brainstorming begins with top 10 or top 50 ideas. So when we get down as a team and we sit through and we see that what has been done in this space, what people from the industry in the similar sector have done. So the first 50 ideas that we take and we scan them through and we trash them. And the real brainstorming happens after the 51st idea. Because it is a very psychological approach to problem solution, which was propagated by Mr. Edward de Bono, Professor Edward de Bono, who always said that all that humanity can think actually has already been thought and happened. So we so we work on the similar concept that all that first run of ideas or line of ideas that come to us, and we see that to be an obvious fitment in terms of a solution for the client, we trash those ideas. And that's when the real brainstorming and the real creative process begins. And when we do that, of course, there's a lot of alignment with the client, because you cannot lose the focus of the brand. You cannot be off the handle with your creativity that it at the end of the day doesn't solve any purpose. So there is a constant alignment of thoughts and ideas that happen with the client, so that whatever we are creating is within the realm of being purposeful and being impactful for the brand.
Fantastic. Mamta, you always lead by example. Am I correct?
Yes.
So just tell us how you laid these examples in your real life during last 4 years, and how you uh, motivated your team, your clients, led by example.
So I think, I think I am a very true blue Libran in that trait, because I go by Mahatma Gandhiji's philosophy that be the change that you want to see in the world. So rather than sitting and cribbing and crying and whining about that this could be like this or why is it not like this, I always believe that if you really want to, uh, want to create a shift or you want to bring in a new change, then do it. Just go ahead and do it. This philosophy, even at the launch of Lateran Sutra, we lived by. When we took up, we launched our company at the back of a social awareness campaign, because we believed in it so much. And to be very honest, it started from the fact that for the first 6 months, we ended up getting no client on board. So to create work for ourselves, we said that, okay, if we are not getting clients to trust us, let us do something where we can gain some sort of trust factor from the society. We can gain their confidence, and let us lead by example there. So we started this campaign, which was attributed to the cause of acid attack survivors, and to create an environment and a dialogue of inclusivity for them. So for me, it wasn't just about that. Okay, we have to do some fundraising or we have to do a quick event. It is about we are the communicators, we are the change makers, we are the perception builders of the society. So what is that we can do with our core competence so that we can create an impact in the society? And it was a 6 month long campaign where we undertook series of digital and video format storytelling on various survivors. We collaborated with our NGO partner, Acid Survivor Foundation of India, who's already been doing a phenomenal work in this area. And we started a crowd funding campaign. We created many panel discussions across the cities of the country, and just brought them in the spotlight so that they could be an environment and a feeling of inclusivity that can be created, because they are dealing with whatever they are dealing with. They have lost their identity, they have lost their faces, they have lost their confidence. So what is that we can do to at least give them the comfort and not ostracize them from the society, but include them
Right.
back in the society.
Right. And it reminds me that this particular communication uh, from where I got to know about you.
Okay.
This acid victim show,
Yes.
I told you. Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously you started your journey some, I think, more than a decade, and then you shifted to as independent consultant. And definitely you had successes, you had failures. How do you see success versus failure? And just tell one success, very motivating success, and another failure that hurt.
So I think there's no meaning of success if there's no failure. I mean, until you have not really tasted what it is to fall flat on your face, you would never understand, or you would never sort of relish and enjoy what success is. So my biggest failure and success both has been this campaign, which we led for the acid attack survivors. Success because we were very successful at creating the right level of noise and conversation and sensitize the society and some of the key opinion leaders and influences of the society, uh, and motivate them and inspire, and through them inspire many others to create a dialogue, and also create some actions at the grass root level for these victims. So Lemon Tree Hotels, which came as a partner on board, they actually took this up under their CSR, and they were already doing a lot of work with ASFI, and with this campaign, they got further motivated to employ a lot of these survivor women in their corporate. And failure because as much of as a um,
Value
commercially
driven,
led,
yeah.
commercially viable sort of a campaign we wanted to make it, we could not do that. And there was a complete lack of corporate participation, I would say. So although the crowd funding campaign went on very well on the online platform, but there were hardly any monies that we could really raise to create any kind of impact in their lives. So while there was a lot of communication, while there was a lot of lip service that came our way, but there was really no money that got generated out of this campaign. So for me, this has been, it's like coming to full circle. Yeah, the success and the failure both. Of course, there have been many failures. There have been many learnings that we have taken up from, be it with new brands entering the country, or creating conversation when there's been a sort of a crisis in a certain environment, or in an industry or a sector. And sometimes we have not been able to go the right way, but I think that's very important to know, because every time there is not a playbook or a
Right.
guidebook that's there to tell you, okay, this is the way that you deal this situation, and this is exactly how it will go. So that way, that is what these 15 years or 17 years have done to me, from that classroom of 2001, where I was an aspirant and an enthusiast. I became a practitioner. So it's like from theory and concept to really practicing it on the ground, and that is what doing anything would do to you, right?
Right.
Otherwise,
From
it's only a
scratch to on board. From scratches to on board. We have witnessed a lot of transformation,
yeah.
invention, innovation, creativity, shifting of business models, propelling the need to redefine to stay relevant. My question is, what is the mantra for becoming truly relevant?
So I think the real answer to that lies in what each one of us is facing in today's time. And this brings me again back to a very, very interesting quote which Vladimir Lenin once said, that there are decades that go by and when nothing happens. And then there comes a few weeks where decades happen. So it's not necessary that in your living life or a journey of a professional, you will always be able to make relevance and impact. But when there is an opportunity, you should never leave that. And I think COVID pandemic has posed as one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetimes, which has made us believe that this is the time to take that action where you can redefine, repurpose, and rethink what you've been doing. So, from just being propagators or marketers, what is that impact creation and change making that you want to create to this world? What is the end purpose of doing all that you are doing professionally? Has somewhere got a little more channeled, with this crisis. I mean, we have seen the best of the organizations, take up the route of responsibility, shouldering the social responsibility. When there had been times, organizations like even Ola, and Uber have stood up to the challenging time, giving more employment to the drivers, carrying the healthcare workers. So I think this all happened because there came a crisis, and it kind of made us realize that how vulnerable we are. However, do we always need a crisis to make a change happen? Maybe not. Maybe we can be more purposeful, and we can be more conscientious in our approach. Maybe we could be more socially driven, not because of crisis, but because of the need. Maybe we could be, more futuristic in our approach, saying that all that I am doing today is just not for me and my consumer in this day and age and living times, but I also want to create some impact for the generations to come. So when you sort of shift your perspective and focus, and step back from what is immediate, I think you can create a lot that is more relevant in the true sense.
I understand. Working from home, cafes, client offices, always a digital first approach. My question is, you also adopt the same thing, I presume. Is it for cost cutting or is it for more efficiency?
So I think cost cutting is not a bad idea. Again, if I can cut my losses, it has a direct impact on the productivity and efficiency of my team. So if I am not in pressure, I am not pressurizing others. So if you know that you are here for a purpose and not only for profit, if you know that you are here for good work, you know that you will be paid what you deserve and maybe a little more. I think you can make do in less. And the whole conversation now with where world is headed to and what this pandemic has taught us, that the less is actually more. And this is a philosophy that we have stood by right from the inception. You always wanted and stood to be a team which is very lean, which is very one-on-one with the clients, which is very engaged in the day-to-day activities, requirements, and needs of the client. So for that, I don't need to put a team of 50 layers or 50 people in between me and client, right? So if all that I can do, if I do that, then I really think I push myself to be more efficient. And at the same time, I am not undertaking any pressure of paying those 50 salaries. So having said that, it doesn't mean that you don't want to grow. You grow, but you grow when you have pushed yourself to the full capacity.
Exactly, exactly. So, creating a more inclusive society. How do you think about?
So I think it's already happening with the social change and a socially, digitally changing society. Both ends are actually happening. We are kind of burning at both ends of it. While it is, there is a lot of cause-driven or agenda-driven changes that we are seeing in the society. So be it gender diversity, be it the causes of ethnicity, be it the causes like even inclusion of acid attack survivors, or people with special abilities, to the point that now marketers are talking about the neurodiversity as an inclusion, as a way to include people of various cognitive skills to be a part in the society, to be a part in the mainstream, playing a mainstream part in the corporates and the society. And on the other end, the social, the digital invasion has also led to a lot of disconnect. So while there is a lot of connect that has come in the special, focused or communities or interest groups, there's a lot of disconnect that has happened at a mass level where people are now very reluctant to come ahead and talk in person or have a one-on-one communication or an engagement or a relationship, build a proper relationship with their customers or with their clients. So, or even their own family members. I mean, they would instead like to pick up a phone or a WhatsApp message and send it to someone who's sitting in the other room. So we are seeing that shift is happening at both the ends. While the same digital technology has helped us connect with people who are sitting in other continents, it has also helped us disconnect with people who are sitting in the other room.
Yes. I will come to another question. You
Yeah.
just told about shift. So, what is your take on shifting away from consumer-based economy to consumer-based?
So again, the perspective is very clear that be more conscientious, be more aware and conscious of what your actions are leading to today. So if I am someone who is, who is a fashion celebrity, or I am someone who has a kind of a hoarding perspective towards, or a very consumerist perspective towards life, then I need to really rethink and say that what is that I'm creating with all of this? Am I leaving behind a legacy, or is it more carbon footprint I am leaving behind? If is there any way what I am doing today that is going to impact positively, the future generations? So I think if you are a little more morally and socially more conscientious, be it in terms of thinking about the environment, thinking about the future generation, thinking about the natural resources, then you have really moved from just being consumerist to conservatists.
Right. So, in today's world, people always carry Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything, WhatsApp, then Telegram. Almost, I think, quarter of world's population is now on Facebook,
Yeah.
and because of the social network, speed of interactions among people, they become more powerful and they grow. You have already told also in your conversation. But I have another issue, just I want some answer. See, we now count, I have this much friends in Facebook, Twitter followers, LinkedIn followers, this kind of friends. They are not real friends. So, what is your take on it?
Yes, so as humans, it's very important for us to always uh, evaluate that what is more important for us. So we we have birthed artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not what has birthed humans. So I think if we always let our core, which is the humanness, if we let our core be, we would or we will always be more. What should I say? We'll always be more discreet in understanding that what is more important and what is less important. Having said that, of course, there have never been times in the humanity or in the the living history of the planet that so much of innovation and invention has ever happened. So obviously, human is also at loss of his own creation, that he doesn't know that where he's landing himself to be. But if we go by the balances of the natural forces, and we understand that, for a human touch will always be important. For a human, emoting will always be important. For a human, relationships will always carry value. For a human, touch will always be important. So if we will keep connecting back to our humanness and our core, I think we we can strike a good balance, and we will not be so lost, because ultimately these things are there to facilitate and help us, and not sort of overtake us.
Right. So it reminds me of empathy, sympathy, other thing. So empathy should be backed by real action. Hope you
Yes,
agree.
absolutely. Impact can only
Right,
happen with real action.
right. Social media alone can be the biggest tool to create social change at a big level. You believe it, or you have logic to say no.
I have complete faith and complete belief in it as a marketeer. In today's time, we have to go back to digital or technological innovations and tools to keep connecting back to the consumer. However, it is very important to understand that how are you living with this aspect of life, that is technology. It has to be backed by real action. You cannot just let um, technology take you over. You have to be more holistic in life. You cannot just look at things in one unidirection and say that, okay, if I have got a hold on this, if I have so many followers following me on Instagram, or if I have people liking my posts and shares, so I have become the next celebrity or the diva, because ultimately it's all very virtual. Ultimately it's all very impersonal. So you would never be able to you would instead end up becoming a victim to what you thought that you have aced at. You would instead be trapped by that. So it's very false. It's very virtual. You should not get sapped into it. However, yes, because it has its own positives and its plus side, you should make it work for yourself. So connecting back with people, any kind of networking, change making in terms of by sharing your thoughts or things that you can positively influence, can all happen with social media today. I think this generation, in that sense, is quite blessed and quite fortunate and quite opportune to have this all at a click of a button for them. Never before has it ever happened in the history of marketing or humanity that a 9-year-old child is becoming the digital influencer of YouTube and earning more than 8.5 million in a year. So these kind of changes, or these things, these kind of magical or unheard of things have also become possible because of technology and innovation. But you cannot get sucked into it to an extent to say that, okay, this is so much more meaningful in my life or my relations or what I believe in or what I need as a human is not important anymore.
Fantastic, Mamta. And almost we are over. I have the last question for you, and that is a very obvious question. As a successful communication professional, what is your message to the communication professional who are coming here to join, or to the people who are yet to start their real career like you, maybe 5 years old professional, 7 years old professional? What is your message to them? How they should shape up their career? What, because in today's age, knowledgeable persons are not that much required. Rather than construction of knowledge is required, because we are in the Google age.
Yeah, very well said. So for beginner, I am clearly not from this generation. I belong to maybe a generation X, and then probably came the millennials, and now it is already generation Z or generation Z. So I think the generation Z, or all of us in our respective cycles of life where we stand today, we are in a very interesting and exciting times in this world. To be living in this day and age in world is very interesting and exciting. the rate at which, like I said before, at which inventions and technological innovations are happening are at a blazing speed. So to think that, okay, I have now got a chip on my shoulder, I'm a pass out from, an A-lister or an Ivy League college or an institute, and this is going to see me through for the rest of my life, may not be possible, maybe not possible. What would carry you through is, of course, because at the speed how change is happening, and change is probably the only constant that is around there, and that is what I believe in. That till the time you will not keep changing, till the time you will not keep upskilling, rebuilding, recreating, you would yourself be a passe very soon. So
Right.
my sort of one take on this to any communication professional or any professional of any times would be that please be on a constant lookout for that how soon are you becoming redundant. And it is quite a possibility that this generation will not stick to one profession. And why should you? My question is always that why should you as a human have a capability to achieve so much, do so much. You have so many aspects to your own life and personality, so why should you not live a life of full
Yeah.
potential? So keep
More
creating.
excited.
Yeah, so keep creating, keep renovating, keep repurposing yourself, and keep rejigging. That is how you can stay relevant. That is how you can stay at the top of your game. And this generation has got it all. I think this is one of the generations which can, in the smallest turnaround time, they can realize their dreams. The Eon Musk of the world have happened in only 39 years of their living. So it's really up to you. The power of thought and the power of action and the power of creativity or creation. You should believe in that and go full force with that.
Thank you, Mamta. It's really great to know. You have already told uh, from time and again we have been listening that change is the only constant. And you
Yes.
also believe in that. I also believe in that. And you have advised the generation to believe in that. And people should stay tuned, people should stay informed. And you have already mentioned about the technology. We must embrace the technology. Artificial intelligence is there, blockchain is there, data analytics is there. Everything will come into this digital domain. And this communication in today's arena is more easy than the earlier, where there was these ideas you have been telling. So ideas were the main component. Now technology has taken those areas. They are now analyzing and giving you a big chunk of data that what you should do about the consumer behavior you are able to know, and you are only devising a marketing strategy and branding strategy, of course. And yes, with that, thank you very
I would
much.
just, I would just like to add one more element, which probably I did not bring up in my conversation, is it's very important in life, as much important it is to know what you want to do. It is very, very important in life to know what you don't want to do. And I think probably from there is where my journey began, when I was pretty sure that what I never wanted to do in life. That's another thing that I ended up doing the exact same thing. But I think the process of elimination and filtering is very important. So when you are getting consumed into the digital vices, you really have to see that what not that you want. Okay, and the minute that you do that, you are more surer, you are more confident, and of your choices. Yeah, and you're more clear about your choices.
Right, definitely. So by filtering, by not taking the negative things, you are getting the positive things. That is another side of the whole story. And we came across so many new dimensions of life, so many new theories of life, so many unheard conversations of Mamta's journey, and encouraging words from Mamta. And with that, thank you very much, Mamta. You came virtually all the way from Mumbai to Kolkata to have a chat with me. And it reminds me your one communication I think 3, 4 years back, I kept in my treasury, and today I'm with you in the chat show. So, with that, good night to all our viewers. Good night to our guest of today's evening, and stay tuned on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the Changemaker Show. So, with that,
Thank you so much, Soumyajit. Thanks. Much grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
with
Thanks,
that,
everyone.
face to face show with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Namaskar, Soumyajit welcomes you to Face Soumyajit. If you like our show, please visit Face Soumyajit, like it and share it. Also, subscribe our YouTube channel iCommunications. Press the bell icon to get instant notifications.